Woonsocket.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time once again here on ON Radio, Friday morning, October 17th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. We'll go around the Coffee Ann table. Say good morning to Dave Richards. Hi, Dave.
Hi there.
And Melissa Murray's joining us. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning.
Back from her long travels.
Yeah.
Around the United States.
Yeah.
Well, she's so in demand.
I know. They need her everywhere. And joining us at the Coffee Ann table for a monthly visit. We didn't have him last month because I was on vacation and forgot to set it up. Sorry about that. It's Phil Gould from the Town Administrator from Lincoln. Hi, Phil.
Good morning.
Glad you could join us today. Our first segment sponsor is the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Dave, what do you know?
Well, Joe, we have the list in front of us. And next, no, it's not next week. It's the week after is November, right?
Yes.
I know we're getting a little bit long in the year here. But yesterday...
Actually, 2 weeks from tomorrow is November. So.
There you go.
Crazy.
What do you know? So anyway... that means that Halloween's coming, right?
It sure is.
Okay.
2 weeks
Anyway,
today.
yesterday they had the Bold in Business breakfast hosted by the Women's Business Council, which Melissa missed because she was out of town. That's the way it goes.
Can't be everywhere.
But you'd have been there, right? Welcome Wednesday, November the 5th, coming up, 8:30 to 9:30. The event's free. Registration is required. Call the Chamber at 334-1000 to be part of it. Or if you're a member already, you will have in your inbox a nice little thing where you just click on the Register Today thing. It's sponsored by Washington Trust. The Eggs and Issues Breakfast featuring Wendy Schiller, who is a professor of political science, international, and public affairs and the chair at Brown University at the Kirkbrake Country Club in Lincoln. Is on November 13th. That's also from 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning. And here's an interesting one. I smile when I say it because sitting right next to me on my left is Melissa, who is in my view, a Canva expert. And if you're not, then there is a special for Canva 101 for small business owners, a level up seminar at the Chamber. That's going to be virtual, by the way, and it's at lunchtime on November the 19th. We'll tell you more about it as it comes along. Remember, Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, there for you in advocacy and in helping your business move along. It's the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce at 334-1000. Joe?
Thanks, Dave. All right. Canva is all business travel, right? Isn't that what that's all about?
No.
No, Canva
It's
is a graphic design program
Well, I'm
that
way
is
off.
super.
You know
no,
those
if
great posters and everything she did for
Yeah,
Six
yeah.
Flags and stuff like
Yeah.
that? Right.
you
Oh.
can do videos on it. You can do a lot of stuff on
Yeah.
it. If you have a small business, it's very this
It's
would be
worth
very
knowing
helpful.
that
You
program.
should hook up with this.
Cool.
It is
seminar.
as helpful to a business in 2025 as Word was earlier in the century.
I see. All right.
Or Excel, for that matter.
All right.
Serious.
Excel is still valuable.
Before we
Well, it is.
before we get to
not
things
yet.
going on in Lincoln, I see this news story we had. Most of you may remember from a couple of weeks ago. Remember that young puffin bird
Yeah.
was found in Gloucester?
Yeah.
I mean, these things don't go south of Maine, Phil, and it was in Not only is it south of Maine, it's way off from the ocean. Well, they released it.
Okay.
It was nursed back to health in at the Congress of Birds Rehabilitation Center in Chepachet, given food, fluids, and preparation to last week's release. And they brought it up to Arcadia National Park in Maine and said, fly and be free. And it flew and was free, and it joined another group of puffin birds, and everything's
Hopefully
okay.
it doesn't decide to come back.
Isn't that... well, I think it was blown off course by the storms, and it just got turned around.
So far. Oh,
Yeah, and he just like, wow,
that's sad.
I think I'm flying north, and I'm flying south,
turn
and
around.
this isn't going well at all. How many times... I had a friend... He wanted to go to the Cape. Next thing you know, it said, welcome to New Hampshire. He goes, all right, I'm going to visit the mountains. So, it was,
Oh my gosh.
I guess it can just happen. It can happen to people too. All right, Phil,
Four ways.
Yeah, before we get to all the good stuff going on in Lincoln, if you want to make a comment, you can. If you don't, that's fine. But you had an issue in Lincoln about a week or so ago where the EMT had to given his EMT license, and I'm not sure, did he resign or was he fired because of the child pornography charges?
So I just want to clarify something real
Please.
quick. So some of the stories that are out there that it was the Lincoln Fire Marshal. So our fire districts, which he worked for one of the fire districts, are independent of the town themselves.
Right. Yeah.
So he didn't work. He was not a town employee, but he did work for the fire district. My understanding is that he has resigned from his position, pending the charges. And again, everybody's innocent until proven guilty,
Right.
And he has his right for due process. However, certainly the nature of the charges that were brought against him are very concerning to the people he worked with, the community, the leaders in the town, leadership. Super concerned because those are things that certainly are beneath. Well, it's unfathomable to me what I've read so far. The allegations, of course. So I had a tough time wrapping my head around it. 'Cause
Okay.
It's somebody that I did have interaction with.
Oh, I see. Was it something? Were the allegations basically? Was he doing this stuff on the job?
No,
Okay.
as far as we know, this was in no way, shape, or form work related.
Work-related at
for
all.
the fire
Okay.
district.
All right. Then, okay. Since he's resigned, but my question is, well, then why would he give up his EMT license?
I think it's just because you can actually be a firefighter for one town, transfer to another one. So that's a
Okay.
state mandated or state
You have to
regulated
have one.
EMT license.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
So now he can't go to another town and do that job. Okay. All right. Let's move on to other good things going on in Lincoln, and it's on. And Dave will talk about it a little later. But it's on the front page of the Valley Breeze newspaper. You got new owners of Old Orchard Farm.
yeah.
How
no,
exciting is this?
Very exciting. I'll tell you what. So it was sitting vacant there for a while.
Yeah.
And that's kind of particularly a Manville monument landmark, if you will.
How long they been there with the original owners?
The original owners goes back. It's one of those things when you come on the job as a young police officer in
Yep.
1992. It was just a staple. Everybody knew about it. Everybody talked about it. Hey, they got new corn over at Sweet Corn.
That's right, the corn's in.
Go up there and actually, the owners a long time ago was a former Lincoln police officer. So. But then it changed hands, and they've been doing some stuff. Then it's sat vacant, which is you never want to see a closed-up business in your community, right? So we were excited. We started seeing some signs of life over there. There was a couple of signs out in front, good things coming. And
I saw that sign. I'm like, hey, it must be new owners.
I actually went out and I was doing a ride around town, just checking on things. And I tried to stop in. I was hoping to catch the people over there. I missed them, but
okay.
I will certainly make it a habit to stop in there for my tramps around town when I stop in to grab a coffee or maybe a pastry, and certainly bring home some jellies and jams to Mrs. Gould.
Well, nothing just yet. They don't plan to open till spring.
No,
But there's a lot of prep work got to be done now. So,
Yeah.
but it's all good news there. So
Yeah.
that's just fantastic. I'm assuming they're going to do the same kind of thing that was done before with the corn and the produce and stuff like that. So.
yeah, that's what I gathered out of the article as well.
All right, very good. Let's talk about a couple of. You got a groundbreaking event coming up in Salesville with a new apartment complex. Let's hear about that.
Yeah, so it's Walker Lofts is putting and it's Odin Management is putting on doing the development, but they're taking what was otherwise kind of a blighted old mill that hadn't been used or occupied for quite some time. So these people had some vision, approached us a few years ago, wanted to do a adaptive reuse and turn it into housing, which certainly
Which is great.
Melissa knows that housing is there's a big push and we need some housing stock, but that is one of those types of projects that I think is fantastic because you're not building on new ground, you're repurposing, which otherwise was just kind of a blighted mill, and certainly had a negative impact in the neighborhood because you live down the street from a mill with broken windows and people are dumping trash out there. So these people are going to make a strong investment in the community, and we're excited. So it's going to be 126 units, which 25% will be affordable housing. So it's we're really excited. It's going to definitely spruce up the neighborhood, bring some curb appeal, and provide some housing opportunities.
What's the date on the groundbreaking?
It's the Monday, the 20th.
Oh, this coming Monday. Okay.
Nice.
And,
I love adaptive reuse projects. They are the best projects because, again, like you don't, it's not a new build. You're using, typically a blighted property, a big mill. It's just a win-win for everybody. I'm very excited for you.
And the governor's coming up for the groundbreaking?
Governor Senator Reed, I'm sure Speaker
wow.
Sakarchi is going to be there. So I think I'm a little down on the list of speaking program. I think I looked. I'm sixth. But
You should be first introducing everybody.
I'm sure they chose another MC for the opportunity. But no, we're excited. And like I said, I mean, even from the tax stabilization agreement we did, which we kind of stay away from on new developments, but because it's adaptive reuse, that property was only valued at in total like $1.6 million.
Yeah.
So you're getting minimal tax income for the town based on this old vacant mill. Well, once they invest that money into it, it's going to generate a lot more revenue for the community too. So it's a win-win.
How long is your agreement? If you don't, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, a 12-year.
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 Good.
Do they have a time estimated time where they can open up and people can start moving in?
Yeah, I believe we had the agreement. Well, they need to have a certificate of occupancy, but I think it's probably going to take about 2 to 3 years. I think it'll roll out in phases, but. Yeah, we're within the next 2 or 3 years. We hope that's occupied, and we've got some new neighbors in Lincoln.
That's fantastic. And what time's the groundbreaking on Monday?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. So you want to come out and watch that? That would be great. Town I live in now, they did the same thing. It wasn't a blighted building. It was an old chocolate factory, and they ended up moving the whole thing down to Hershey, Pennsylvania. But there were times, especially in the summertime, where you could smell it in the air. They're making chocolate. But they did the same thing. And let's make it into apartments. And that's exactly what they've done. So, and the big, 100-year-old red brick buildings kind of thing. So they didn't knock it down. They just turned it into apartments. So that worked out very well. And you have another ribbon cutting coming up with a new turf field.
Yeah, so we're super excited for that. So behind Lincoln Middle School, we have Turner Field, which is mostly used by middle school sports, but also by a lot of our youth programs. And there's a big, certainly there's always a demand for field space for all your sports, but youth football in particularly has kind of not had a home to play in for a while, because that field went offline about 2 years ago, because when it was built almost 20 years ago, they didn't have drainage and irrigation, and it started
tough to play in the puddles.
And that was creating ruts, and it was an ankle twist injury waiting to happen, so it was offline for a couple of years. So our youth football program in town was playing on the outsides of baseball fields and just trying to move around wherever we could to keep that program going.
Yep.
They play their Sunday games up the high school, which is a turf field, but they had nowhere to practice. So this is nicely going to be kind of their home base, so they get to practice, and so they accommodated the school. So it was kind of a very great collaboration between the town and the school department, and got a lot of support when I brought the idea to the budget board to get this thing funded, and it's actually being used now, but to tie everybody together, we're going to do the ribbon cutting on the 30th of this month.
And this is at Lincoln Middle School?
Correct.
All right. That do you get to throw out the first football?
I better. On my coaching days. And by the way, tonight is homecoming for Lincoln High School.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So 6 o'clock, Lincoln High School.
It's that time of year already.
It is that time.
Oh my gosh.
It's quick. Unfortunately, Lincoln High School only got 3 home games, so they had to pack it in there pretty quick. But they'll be playing at Lincoln High School tonight at 6 o'clock, so I will be there.
All right. Oh, that's great. Now, Melissa, you want to take a guess at what these turf fields cost?
Oh.
I already asked Phil off air, so I already know. But
no, I don't.
Tell him, Phil.
$1.6 million.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, but that's par for the course on these.
Okay.
These fields. I'm sure this one, when Woonsocket put in their new field, I'm sure that's what they cost.
I don't know
them.
what it parsed out to be, right? The project as a whole, but yeah.
And how long is it supposed to last? Do you get a guarantee on it?
Yeah, usually they last anywhere from 12 to 15 years, as long as you're doing maintenance and keeping up on it. But again, we were actually originally looking at a quicker fix, and we were looking at trying to keep it grass, which needed irrigation and some drainage. But where that spot is, there's just so much ledge that it would have doubled the price to remove the ledge.
Wow, really?
And do that work. So this was actually a more convenient fix for us, certainly more financially responsible fix. It's been $2.5 million. We're spending 1.6.
Okay.
And we got a field that's going to last for a long time, and it's not going to need routine watering or any of that stuff.
It's a little safer for the kids playing on the field as well. When they land on it, you're not landing on rock or ledge or something like that. It's a little spongier, so there's a little more give to it. So,
Have you had any pushback about the turf versus the grass? No. I know that's been a thing in other communities.
It is.
The community further north of us, it's quite a thing up there.
What town are we talking about here?
Burville, there's
I think there's other issues out there.
Yeah.
They stopped, and I don't know the argument on either side, but it sounds like there might be some.
There's DEM issues out there, aren't there?
I'm just glad we didn't have to deal with that down in Lincoln.
Okay, good.
All right.
Good.
We're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program, but more is coming your way. This first segment of Coffee and has been sponsored by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. You can give them a call at 401-334-1000.
ON 1240.
This Halloween, thrills take over. Six Flags New England bring the whole family for Kids Boo Fest. Fun and games. But when night falls, haunted mazes and monsters awaken. Experience the fright, if you dare. Only at Fright Fest. Sponsored by Snickers. September 20th to November 2nd at Six Flags New England.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair? It looks amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com, new, NORDICUSA.com, or CVS.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
We're local and live at 99.5 FM, ON, AM, and FM.
And it's Coffee and here on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callan here with Melissa Murray and Town Administrator from Lincoln. Phil Gould is with us. Dave Richards is around here somewhere. He may be jumping back in. We had a story this morning, Phil, and I don't know if I'm thinking this will affect Lincoln, but the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management will be stocking 24 waterways with brook and rainbow trout. Will they be coming up to Lincoln Woods and throwing fish in there?
The stock Lincoln Woods and also Handy Pond, which is up in Manville. Two famous fishing areas. So that one is particularly up at Handy Pond is fly fishing only, and the fly fishermen are very
happy,
very happy, and very regulatory of what kind of fishing style happens over there. But yeah, we'll be excited for that.
I guess they're starting today, and they go to next week, Thursday, October 23rd, of stocking the waterways, and. But you have to be 15 years or older to fish. And maybe I should rephrase that. If you're 15 and older, you have to have a 2025 fishing license.
You have to have a license.
Okay,
yes,
if you're younger than 15, I guess you don't have to have one.
Because presumably you'd be going with your parent, who would be.
Yeah. And a trout conservation stamp in order to keep any trout they catch, and any trout caught in state waters must be at least 8 inches long.
Yep.
So there you go. I'm not a fisher person, so I don't know. Where do you get one of these stamps?
You can go online, actually. They make it very, very convenient.
Easy?
My son actually took up fishing this year, and he's 21, but he took up fishing because his buddies
are
going out. But he went online and was able to do it and download through his phone. And actually, you can download your license right on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep it with you when you go fishing. All right, well that's cool, and I'm glad they're stocking over there in Lincoln as well. Well, just overall, Phil, how was the summertime for Lincoln with all the different activities that went on?
It was fantastic. I actually just had a staff meeting yesterday and just talked about all the things we did, which between our concert series and our farmers markets, which again, there's bigger farmers markets out there in the state where you've actually got cooperatives coming in and running it, and this is something we run. My parks and staff assistant director help us manage this, but we bring the people in, and it's super successful. So we've been excited, and that's another way to engage in community and offer be a resource, because we do it over Chase Farm, which it's just a gem. It really is a wonderful place. And so we enjoyed that. It was a busy summer. We're getting ready now for all our fall activities, which
like what? What's coming up?
Our big thing coming up is going to be our holiday basket program, where we help families in need. So that's a big project that Peggy Wigner, who works in my planning department, kind of oversees. Super active with it. It's been doing this for years, but we help a lot of families in needs, and it really makes us feel good having the opportunity to be in a position where we can do that. So we'll get busy on that, and then certainly all the holiday stuff coming up. We're pretty excited for that, and getting ready for next year's 250th, which is
Lincoln will be 250 years old. Oh, the nation's.
The nation is. So
okay.
The state's got a big initiative. The Secretary of State's website, the Secretary of State, excuse me, to get towns to commemorate and celebrate the 250th.
Okay.
So it's going to be tied into a lot of the activities we do next year, like a Memorial Day parade and our celebrations. But we were adding other things to that as well to really make the push. So there's going to be a planting of a memorial tree that they're doing here, I think all throughout the state. And I'm sure that Woonsocket is going to be jumping on board with that too.
Well, that's cool. And are you taking suggestions like from residents of things you could do? Just call City Hall, Town Hall?
So anybody that wants to get involved certainly can. I mean, one of the great things for us is we have an infrastructure in place already, but with our parade committees and some of the activities that are already scheduled through the course of the year, now we can just use those things in time, the 250th. But there'll be other things. So certainly if anybody's interested in getting involved in the 250th and some of the different activities we'll do over the course of the year, they can certainly reach out to the Lincoln Town Hall and Parks and Rec and ask for grace, and we'll be happy to get them involved.
All right. You talk about doing the holiday baskets for people in need, and I'm sure people just assume, there's no one in need in Lincoln, but I'm sure there is families that are struggling in the town.
Nowadays, there's a lot more people in need than you realize.
Yeah.
So it's a tough time. And, certainly the holiday baskets we do for Thanksgiving, getting those meals out there, but then we do it again where we provide presents for children within the community. And it's tough. I mean, having a family and not being able to supply Christmas presents for them has got to be really tough for parents. So we really take a proactive approach. We get out information out there what the kids need, their ages and genders, and get age-appropriate gifts. So again, Peggy does a fantastic job with that, and we're excited she's back on board and getting ready to do that.
All right. Here's something I don't think I've ever run by you, but the bike path along the Blackstone River. How much does Lincoln have? Do you have to take care of your part of the bike path, or is that just all state?
So that is an interesting topic of discussion. So that is a state park.
Okay.
Right? And it's actually the National Parks has a portion of that, but I actually had to sit down this past week with Director Gray because we were talking about the canal that runs along parallel to the river and some of the issues we're having with spillways that are not functioning. Again, they're not Lincoln property; they're kind of state property, and there's some other implications of the people involved from the national parks. So we're trying to come up with some fixes for that. I feel very good that the director very responsive and helping us look at it, but it's much bigger issue. I mean, the Blackstone, there's been a hard push, and we have some great community groups, our Conservation Commission and the Friends of the Blackstone, two groups that are strong advocates for making that a recreational space. And so we're working hard. We're finding solutions, but that is actually DM, Rhode Island DM owns the bike path.
Okay. But do you have residents calling you up? Hey, there's an issue of
any
kind.
They do, and actually, it's tough because for the most part, people are doing the right thing on the bike path, but sometimes people don't do the right thing. And
right, there's issues occasionally.
We've had some concerns with people riding the e-bikes and some of the motorcycles down there. So,
is that against the rules? No e-bikes on the bike path.
Yeah, it's supposed
Yeah,
to.
they're motorized. I mean, so
True, but
they belong on the road with vehicles. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so
you're gonna have same thing with like scooters, like those motorized scooters.
The scooters are what's more problematic, and some of they almost look like small motorcycles.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's scary, and a lot of the people that are driving them, young men who are probably not as respectful of the people that are out there. So our police department actually put in for a grant to get a ATV that we can take down there and help.
Oh, that would help.
It's very tough to take a cruiser down the bike
Well,
path.
yeah.
Sure.
Because there's people on there. So we're working on that. So kudos to Chief Fleming and Captain Wingate to go after the grant, and hopefully we get it. Waiting to see how many grants still come out of D.C. Under the current conditions. We're hoping to get that funding.
All right. Let's move on. It is October, but it was relatively close to the beginning of the school year. Things going okay in all the schools. Unfortunately, we're having issues here in Woonsocket. There were issues down in Providence, in other schools. We can talk about Pontiac if you want to, but let's not right now. But how are things in the Lincoln school system?
Our schools are great. Our new superintendent, Dr. McNamara, is who I've known for a long time. When I was a young school resource officer, he was just starting out his teaching as a teacher of the district, and
oh, wow.
He's been with us throughout, and he was the principal for a while, and then he was the assistant superintendent. Now he's the superintendent. So we have a great relationship with his administration as well as the school committee. But no, they've got a tight leash. I don't know if that's the appropriate word, because we don't have problems. We do have SROs in the high school and middle school. And
how many does Lincoln send over?
We have one dedicated for the high school, one dedicated for the middle school.
Is that what it's like in Woonsocket, Melissa? I'm not sure.
We have 4 SROs.
Okay.
I don't know where they are co-located at any given time, though.
Okay. All right. Do any go to the elementary schools?
They do. So
just every once in a while. Hey.
So they'll make check-ins, or they'll respond to if something comes up. They've divvied up we've got 4 elementary schools, and they'll go out to the different schools. So they each have 2.
Okay. I just remember that as a kid being in elementary school, and yeah, you watch police shows on TV, and okay, but to see an actual police officer, full uniform and the gun, and all the equipment they wear, it's very impressive to elementary school age kids.
It is. It's funny. I just actually had the president of the union is a school resource officer. So him and I had a meeting on another matter to sign an MOU, and we were talking about that. How somebody came in new from the outside the district, came in and looked at his regalia, his uniform, because he wears an outer carrier, and
okay.
The district that the person come from, they didn't wear any of the gear. But for now, it's so important that we have the gear, because you never know when something bad's going to happen. You want to be prepared. You want to have your equipment with you. But the kids, when we started in there and we started with this, they got used to it. It's just, hey, Officer Rod, it's not a shock and awe for anybody. They're used to it, and they're accustomed to it. And I think that has a lot to say about the way that they interact with the students as well. There's a couple missions that we try and do when we have an officer in the school, but building up those relationships with the student population, and as well as the administration, they're a valuable asset to us.
Okay.
I have a question that you might not know off the top of your head, but do your school resource officers get paid through your city budget or your school budget?
Through the town budget.
Yep. Okay.
What is it, Woonsocket?
The school.
School budget?
Yeah. I think we might be the only one.
Can that change?
That would be up to the city.
Okay, all right.
It certainly would help the schools.
Yeah, it's. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all the town's budget, right? The money that goes.
All right. It's
sure, but
town, same city.
Yeah.
But I know if you don't have that cohesive relationship between the schools and the town, that I could see where that gets.
All right. We just got a couple of minutes to go before Phil's going to be on his way. Just any new businesses looking at Lincoln, coming into Lincoln? Any grand openings that to be aware of?
Well, I will tell you that we had a new doctor's office open up recently. There was a story in the Valley Breeze, but certainly we're sad to see Anchor close down.
Which one?
Anchor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Medical one closed down. So a lot of people were looking for doctors, but we had a local doctor who was actually was a former student, played football over Lincoln High School, Dr. Chichi, who went off and got his joined the Navy, got his medical degree, and decided he wanted to open up an office in Lincoln.
Fantastic.
Which is and so he's opening up a group over there. But I was just explaining that kudos to the General Assembly for increasing their reimbursement for health for insurance, because it's really tough to be a doctor in Rhode Island because of the limited reimbursements that they get prior to this bill going through.
Yep.
People aren't coming here. They'll go work in Massachusetts, take a lot more money.
I lost my PCP. She moved out of state. So, yeah.
When I actually explained to him about the, and he wasn't aware that the reimbursements had gone up. When I explained it to him, he was
don't tell him.
Oh, no, he knows. He's
now
excited.
Okay. In Rhode Island, it's going
it's
up.
It's going to
okay.
make him easier to attract because he's trying to grow the business.
Yeah.
To attract doctors that might otherwise go out of state, or maybe they'll come back into the state if they can actually, they go to school, they work hard to be doctors. They should.
Right. That's why we're losing
citizens,
a lot of general practitioners, because you come out of school with all this debt, and then it's, you're going to make more money if you go into a specialty. So we have a lack of primary care physicians. We have a lack of pediatricians. It's not good. It's not good.
Well, it's glad that
this is
new
good to hear.
doctor has opened up in Lincoln, so at least can take some of the burden off some of the people. So, all right, Town Administrator from Lincoln, Phil Gould, thanks for joining us.
That was quick. Thank you.
I know, quick half hour, but we'll have you back real soon for next month, and we'll see where things are going with Lincoln. Good luck with your groundbreaking on Monday at the new lofts.
Walker Lofts.
Walker Lofts. Okay, it's an easy enough name, and then you get your ribbon cutting at Lincoln Middle School for the new turf. So good luck with all that.
Thank you very much.
All right, more of Coffee and coming up. Time for the forecast, brought to you by Compassion International.
Sunny skies today with a high near 61 and a breeze from the north. Tonight, clear, overnight low of 36 degrees. Saturday's weather, sunshine and 64, a northwest breeze. Sunday, mostly sunny, high of 68. Sunday night, rain comes in. Monday, showers are likely, mostly cloudy and 64. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 65. Wednesday, a 40% chance of a shower, but partial sunshine all day with a high of 61. And next Thursday, mostly sunny, 59 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street under mostly sunny skies, we have 45 degrees. Imagine a child in extreme poverty waiting over a year to be sponsored. End their wait today. Become a Compassion Radio to 83393.
Wow! Can you believe Gators Pub is celebrating its 35th year in business? Maybe the key to Gators' success is our super friendly staff. Or maybe the fact that the chefs at Gators are constantly making some of the freshest and most delicious dishes around. If you've never been, come on down and check out our great lunch specials from Monday through Thursday. They also offer complimentary soup during lunch. Watch the Boston Red Sox on one of our many TVs while enjoying classic apps like fresh potato skins or our famous pita chips. Come watch a volleyball game and have a burger or one of our newest cocktail creations. Gators is located on Route 102 in North Smithfield, about 1 mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Come say hello.
Hi, this is Frank Richard of the Eston & Richard Insurance Agency. You may know who we are, but have you ever given us the chance to know you? Sure, there are many insurance agencies that you can choose from. However, have you noticed that there are fewer insurance agencies still in business compared to 10 or 15 years ago? That's because, as the saying goes, only the strong survive. At Eston & Richard, we have contracts with some of the finest insurance carriers in the business. Eston & Richard will not place your coverage with carriers that can't show financial strength. Ask your current insurance agent how many companies he does business with. If he doesn't have at least a dozen strong insurers, then you should make a change. Call Eston & Richard Agency at 766-4200 to review your present personal or business insurance program. We're a low-key, no-pressure office. Most of our customers have been with us for a long time. That's because we can handle any and all of their insurance needs. We insure businesses from many industries: restaurants, apartment houses, manufacturers, convenience food stores, service stations. There isn't a business that we can't protect. Call us at 766-4200. Customer satisfaction speaks for itself, and Eston & Richard is waiting to help you.
This segment of the Coffee and program is being sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper. Dave happens to have this copy, or both copies of the Valley Breeze in his hands right now.
I do, as a matter of fact, and in the Cumberland Lincoln edition, you alluded to the story from Sophia Barr in the earlier portion of our program this morning, Joe. Mm-hmm. Old Orchard Farm will reopen under new ownership, and boy, are we happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Luke was getting tired. Luke wanted to go, and that's just fine. We missed Luke, but we missed Old Orchard Farm even more because Luke wasn't there, and neither were the folks who took it over the first time. You know, there's lots of places where you can go. We would always get our sweet corn and our vegetables over at Old Orchard Farm, and then we did find another place to go, but they're not the same. They don't support us the way that Old Orchard Farm always did, and it's always nice to be working with friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ethan Shorey has a story on the Cumberland Lincoln Edition front page. Photo contest is among the activities that Cumberland will run to celebrate the nation's 250th. Each community is tasked with putting together some sort of a celebration for their town as part of the nation's 250th. And here in Woonsocket, we're having our meetings now, and things will be coming along shortly, but they've already gotten to the point where they know some of the things they're going to be doing in Cumberland. Read all about it in the Valley Breeze. And Ethan also has a story in here about the committee, as the Cumberland School Committee, awards B.F. Norton work to Consigli. Project labor agreement is still on the table. Moving to the Woonsocket, North Smithfield, and Blackstone edition of the Valley Breeze newspaper, Tractor Supply has won approval for the Victory Highway store. If I am reading this correctly, I just read it very, very briefly. This is the old Christensen's Farm orchard, which was bought and shut down by the Stop and Shop Company, which is not really so much a supermarket as it is a real estate company. And it was an X blocks the square sort of thing to give Eddie's Market a hard time. And then they just didn't do anything with it.
Yep.
Because
sounds like Walmart.
There might have been some expansion and stuff like that.
This is what they do. Yep.
Yeah, it abuts Slatersville Plaza so well that there could have been an expansion of Slatersville Plaza, and that was rumored, and then it was just put to sleep. Then they sat on it and sat on it and sat on it. Now it looks like Tractor Supply will be putting a store there, and that will complement, I'm sure, their Woonsocket store. Easier to get to for those folks
in North Smithfield,
Chepachet, and Barrowville. We have a lot of agriculture in Chepachet and Barrowville, and right now those folks find it more convenient to go to Putnam, Connecticut.
Okay.
Happy to have them in North Smithfield.
Have you walked into a Tractor Supply, Dave, at all?
Well, I certainly have, and we bought some stuff there. We had to get some hoists and things like that, some tools.
But like the chicken feed and horse food and all
Well,
sorts of
that's
stuff
not
like that in there.
It's not. That's not. It's distributed differently in different stores depending on your locality. The one in Woonsocket isn't quite so agrarian as you might think.
Right.
But that's okay. Then there's also a story in here about Jason Hawes renewing an effort to save the Conjuring House after the loan sale. And what had happened out there, I could speak for 20 minutes on the Conjuring House and why I shake my head and say, why is this such a big deal? But anyway, but that's a topic for another time, Joe, I think.
Yeah.
But the Conjuring House is a thing now, and the previous owner came in, thought that they were going to run a Disney World and make a ton of money, and they did not realize that they are in a town where the townspeople have something to say about it too, and
they sure do.
And they just did not endear themselves to the townsfolk,
right.
And so they ran into some problems. I think that's a fair way to characterize the situation. Anyway, they defaulted on the loan because they weren't doing any business and all the rest of that. Now the person who had the loan, or the bank, I'm sorry, the financial institution had the loan, short sold it off before going to foreclosure, thinking maybe they might get $1 or $2 more to somebody who wanted to buy it before they went to foreclosure. So anyway, that's what happens. It happens a lot when you're talking about real estate, and that did complicate the Jason Hawes effort to get hold of it and turn it into like a museum sort of thing, a nonprofit, and all the rest of that sort of thing. Short-circuited because now somebody else owns it. Heavens to Murgatroyd, they may want to sell it as a residence or something like that. Yeah. Oh, who would ever do anything like that? Well, it is a residence, folks.
Yeah, I know.
It is a residence,
I wouldn't want to live there just because.
Right. Listen, we went to... I'll just briefly tell you that whole time where these things are supposed... Listen, there's so many haunted houses that you wouldn't even believe. I could tell you stories that would curl your hair. But I went to school with the kids who grew up in that house.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And so like that, the school bus went right by and dropped them off, picked them up every morning, and like that. So, right. A lot of it's hyperbole, I think. But I ain't saying it ain't haunted. So anyway, then speaking of hauntings, just in time for October, the most extensive investigative reporting I've seen in many a day by Corey Plant on who actually owns Oak Hill Cemetery and why it's in such rough shape.
It's a great story.
It is a great story. It goes way inside the paper, starts on the front page. You're going to want to read it for your own... yeah, right. Edification, we'll use that word. Because it's just, wow.
It's extensive.
And then there's a nice little color picture of the youngsters on the ripcord. That's that ride at Autumnfest that went way up in the air
and dropped
and then
you.
dropped you.
Yeah,
like
saw that.
Pick it up on the Valley Breeze.
Right?
Saw that from a safe distance.
So anyway, the Valley Breeze newspapers, free where you shop every Thursday. Pick one up. You'll get a chance to read those stories just like I am here.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
You're
All
welcome,
right,
Joe.
Feel free to come back if,
Where's
if
the
you have
rooster?
time. I don't know.
Do we know?
Send him a quick text. Coming in. Hasn't responded. So
I hope he hasn't
nowhere
fallen
to
any
right now.
illness or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. So if he gets in touch with me, I will pass it along. But he's not here right now.
Yeah. So I wanted to go back to that Tractor Supply story because
Okay.
we saw the same thing in Woonsocket, right, where the Walmart used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so these deed restrictions, right? So
Yeah, right.
companies like Walmart and Stop and Shop and places like that, you're right. They become
block.
like they put deed restrictions on the building when they leave. So they come in, they, drive all the little guys out. I put the deed restriction on the building that says you can't be a grocery store, you can't sell food here, fresh food here, and a lot of those deed restrictions are for 30 years.
Wow.
So, yes, right, which is why you have such a hard time replacing that. But they don't just do it on the buildings that they occupy. One of those, I'll just say it was Stop and Shop because I would know this to be true. They actually bought up other properties on Diamond Hill
For Met's Restaurant?
and put deed restrictions on them.
Right.
So that they could so they're in the business of like just gobbling out property so they can have a super monopoly. So one of the bills that we did, Senator Thompson and I put in, I was a primary sponsor, he was a secondary sponsor. We put in a bill that would eliminate those deed restrictions. It's been done in other communities.
But can you do it retroactively?
You can go after them legally. Yes. They've been successful in other areas. It passed the Senate. Unfortunately, it didn't pass the House. So we're going to get our Woonsocket delegation together and push for that this year because it's, this is what creates food deserts, right?
Yeah.
It's the behind the scenes, the big corporations that you don't see that are gobbling up all of the real estate and saying, oh well, you can't sell anything here. You can't sell food here for 30 years. It's it's not right. So we're going to try to fight it. See what happens.
All righty. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, a couple other stories we wanted to get to, and a sad story. I don't know if you heard this, Melissa, out of Swansea. There's a school. It is the Meadowbridge Academy, which sounds nice, but I think it's really for troubled kids.
Okay.
Of some sort, because there's a 53-year-old person. I don't know if they were it's a school for troubled young people. There you go. And there's a staff member there. Her name is Amy Morell, and she was trying to stop a 14-year-old female student from leaving a dormitory.
Yep.
Trying to get out at night, I would say. So the female student kicked Morell in the chest.
Ugh.
But it happens at times where if you get hit in the chest at the right time, when your heart is not beating,
Yeah.
you die.
Oh my gosh.
And she died. Because she just got hit at the wrong time.
Right.
So just brought to the hospital, but she passed away. Now, obviously, the girl's now being charged. She is being charged as a juvenile with assault and battery causing serious injury. Well, you died. You can't get too much more serious than that. But it's just one of those. And I've heard about situations like that. You hear about it sometimes on baseball fields where the pitcher throws a ball, it gets hit right back to them, hits him in the chest or her in the chest. At the exact moment his heart is not beating, and it kills you.
Just that wrong, exact wrong timing.
Wrong, yeah. It's like, wow. So that's what happened
Tragic.
to this woman down in Swansea. Got kicked in the chest, and she passed away.
It's called Meadowbrook.
It's Meadow Ridge.
Meadow Ridge, okay.
Academy. It just says a school for troubled young people.
Yep.
It's in Swansea.
Yep.
So, all right. And I guess the kids live there. And taken out of the homes to go live there to try to get straightened out.
For lack of a better word.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, this segment of the Coffee and Program has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Since its founding, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism makes these cities and towns better places. We believe that truth should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story. The Valley Breeze, making our communities stronger by telling their stories.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Blackstone Valley's ON Radio.
All right, it is Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan. Melissa Murray is here. Rich Lane says, yep, my fault. I forgot. Rich is in New Jersey. That's why he's not here.
Okay, I don't remember if I knew that or not.
Yep. Okay. I told you last week I was in New Jersey this weekend, and I just
You
didn't.
might
I
have,
didn't write it.
maybe I remember that, but I don't remember
didn't
if I
write it
remember
down.
it.
All right. We're coming up on Halloween in 2 weeks. 2 weeks today, as a matter of fact. So
Yes.
what do we got for local events, Melissa?
So tonight in North Smithfield, there is a Happy Halloween party put on by Cub Scout Pack 7. Wear costume. There's games. There's going to be s'mores, which I love. That's at Scouters Hall near Pacheco Park at 6:30. Also tomorrow, Saturday, October 18th, is Woonsocket 12th annual pumpkin patch, and that's from 1 to 4. You get to pick and decorate a pumpkin. There's going to be a bouncy house, petting zoo, music, photo ops, and lots more stuff. Free activities for the kids. A free pumpkin for children 12 and under while supplies last, and it is a free event as always, but it's free for city residents only. You got to show your ID. Non-residents participants will pay $10. So if you're not from Woonsocket but you still want to come, you can participate. It's $10. And then additional pumpkins for those at home or older children are $5 each with the resident ID. So that is and where is it? Burnin Park. It's at Burnin Park. It would be good if I told you where it was. It's from 1 to 4 at Burnin Park. Lots of activities there put on by our Parks and Recreation, which is always a good time. And then next weekend, North Smithfield Spooky Spirits Night, which is going to be October 25th from 4 to 8. With hay rides at Goodwin's Farm, which is always a fun time. So food trucks, cider, spooky hay rides, face painting, all different stuff.
Cool.
Rain date is the next day. Hopefully it will not rain. So, stuff to do in Woonsocket and North Smithfield this weekend and next weekend.
Very cool. All right, Melissa, let's get your opinion on this because I know you have one. The story we have, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Rhode Island is cutting health benefits for 275 of its own retirees and their spouses in a cost reduction move. These are people that worked at Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Yes. So
Wow.
This is so awful. They are cutting health benefits for their own retirees who spent their working lives
Yeah.
helping Blue Cross and Blue Shield to make money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money. A lot of money. Yours and my money. If you live in Rhode Island, you probably have Blue Cross Blue Shield, right? I just think this is awful. I know that they're going to probably blame the General Assembly for bills that we passed to.
So Blue Cross and Blue Shield will blame you guys?
I have an inkling.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a hunch that they might try to throw it back on us. But, to have worked your whole life and have been promised things and now we're going to cut them.
So
wrong.
Channel 12 says those affected have been notified that the insurer will eliminate their subsidized Medicare Advantage plan next year. It means they'll have to pay full cost for replacement coverage. The decision impacts those hired before 1992 who retired before April 2013. I don't know who came up with these.
Right.
Let's go with these years.
That's to do with contracts.
Sure, it probably does. And they probably said, well, we want to, I'm guessing, because this happens a lot in government, and probably in the private sector too, where they said, well, we want to save X amount of dollars. Let's figure out and back into that some kind of formula that will save us X amount of dollars.
They probably went on ChatGPT and said, well, what do we do?
How will this work?
Right. But Melissa, forgive me, I don't mean to be unpleasant, but you can't keep legislating additional costs for a company and expect them not to have some sort of shortfall in their planned finances. I mean, you're telling them you can't raise rates, and you're telling them you got to cover this, and then you wonder why they're trying to cut expenses someplace else. I mean, come on. There's something fundamentally wrong with attorneys general who go out and just totally extort millions and tens of millions of dollars from companies because they can. There's something totally and fundamentally wrong with mandating that you have to provide coverage that you're now going to have to charge everybody who doesn't need that coverage for lots more money, and then tell them, by the way, you can't raise your rates. There is a place where it doesn't work. And so these are, I will grant you this, perhaps unintended consequences. But it gets to be a careless attitude by government that they can just manipulate business in this way.
So I just came back from a healthcare cost and prescription drug cost conference in Houston, which is where I've been for the last 3 days.
Right.
And we talked a lot about these issues, and I actually found out about this while I was there. So we sifted through a lot of data. It's very complicated. The whole healthcare system is complicated and not very transparent, and that is deliberate. And it was, yeah, that is deliberate.
When you're being attacked in every session of every legislature, come on.
Yeah, and I think it's also.
How transparent do you want to be to your enemy?
I think that it's there's so many layers here. But I'm just going to say this: these big corporations that get huge tax abatements and sometimes don't pay taxes at all, cry poor. And when we pass a bill to say, okay, well, you're not going to charge more than $40 out of pocket for insulin, that we know costs you pennies, that we know the formulary has not changed, but that we know you have increased prices 500+%. And they say, oh, well, we're going to have to raise everybody's premiums. Baloney. I call baloney. We saw in this presentation, in one of the presentations, that it was proven that capping costs like that, capping copays, and doing things like that does not affect premiums. These folks are going to raise their premiums if they feel like it, and they're going to do what they want to you because they can, because they are, they have a monopoly. So I have a really hard time feeling bad for these folks, and I think this is something that we need to dig into. We can't bail them out, but maybe the federal government can.
All right, here's another medical thing, Melissa. Ready? You may be happy with this, maybe you won't, I'm not sure. President Trump is unveiling a plan to make in vitro fertilization more accessible. Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump said his plan will allow Americans access to the most popular fertility drugs at reduced prices, saying Americans have been paying 700 times what other countries pay.
That we have.
Trump also said his administration will make IVF treatments less expensive for couples through insurance. Making IVF more accessible was one of Trump's campaign promises. So,
yeah, and
this is good news.
you know what? I will admit this is a good thing, and I agree with what Mr. Trump is doing on this issue, and I hope that it comes to fruition. This is something we tried to do at the state level for a long time, because I have friends that have had to go through IVF. It is extremely expensive, and not accessible. And if someone, if a couple wants children, and they can't do it through, other methods, so they should be able to have children. These children are wanted, going to be cared for. I think it's a great thing, and I'm happy to hear it. And I'm interested to see how it all pans out. If it's really going to be accessible, if it's really going to be cost effective for folks.
All right, Dave, you got a question over there?
Well, I think if you have the means, you'll try to make it happen. Sometimes at your own expense. You know.
Dave?
Back in the healthcare business, I've got a press release here that we'll be seeing on the website a little later on. Rep. John Brien from Woonsocket, along with Senator Valverde, have been honored by the Rhode Island Health Center Association for their bill to protect funding. It's the John H. Chafee Healthcare Leadership Award, and I think that's a pretty cool thing. Now, what's that?
Good for him.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
I sent my congratulations yesterday. I saw that press release, and I sent the rep my congratulations.
Right.
Yeah, we worked really
we'll
hard.
Post that so everybody can read it a little later on.
Absolutely. Worked really hard on the Senate side to pass that bill because it was really important to our local hospital, particularly Landmark, and also Thunder Mist is critical.
All right. You want to? I think it's an amusing IVF story. So this is about 20 years ago. And my wife and I went through IVF, and we had my wife's health insurance at the time, who offered to pay for all this in vitro fertilization stuff. And I think we were the only people in the company that ever put in for this. And the ruling was they were only going to pay for like 2 cycles. If the first one didn't work, all right, well, you can do it again, but after that, we're not doing it anymore. And we had to do 2 cycles. And then after that, the health insurance company dropped the IVF altogether.
Yeah.
Because they saw exactly how much it was actually costing them.
Yeah.
And
And
said,
often it
"Oh
takes
my
more
God."
than 2 cycles. Often it does.
It does.
Yeah.
It's certainly possible. So it's like, they said, well, we're not going to offer this anymore. This is way too expensive out there. Ace Frehley passed away yesterday. Who's Ace Frehley?
Oh, everyone knows who Ace Frehley is.
Does everyone know? I don't know.
I hope everyone
do.
knows.
Well,
we all do.
I do.
Founding
there
member
may
of
be
the
some
band
people
Kiss.
out there. Yeah, people out there may not know him by name.
Yep.
But they probably saw the Spaceman as part of the Kiss
I
group.
didn't even know that was
he was
his
the Spaceman
nickname. I knew he didn't play the drums, and he wasn't Gene Simmons, and he wasn't the lead singer, Paul Stanley. So I said, well, he's the other guy.
Ace Frehley.
He's the 4th one.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
got
was
it.
the
All
most. He was the most successful among them when he left the group.
Yeah,
in
New York
82.
Groove. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Then he came back and played. After he had his moment in the sun, his career, top 20 song. We play it here on the station called New York Groove.
New York Groove,
and then eventually he came back and played with the band again years later.
Yeah, when they regrouped.
Yeah, they regrouped. Yeah, so that's cool.
But
I think he toured till fairly recently, I believe.
Well, yeah,
a couple of years ago at least.
I was talking with someone yesterday who went to the Stadium Theater.
Yep.
To see him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I hate to speak ill of the dead. They said it was a lousy show.
Oh.
Well, everybody.
Showed up
not
late.
young. Oh. Well, that's
showed
rude.
up late. Wasn't in his right mind, if you follow what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't there to do the sound check, Dave. So they basically did the sound check in front of the crowd. And then he just wasn't very good.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you off the air, the chant that the crowd was doing.
Oh no.
During the show, which didn't go very well.
Not complimentary.
Not complimentary as
well.
right.
It happens in show business.
Yeah.
It does. And I know you've been wondering.
That doesn't mean it happened every time he was performing.
True, but it happened here in Woonsocket.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably been wondering since last July But Vince McMahon has been granted accelerated rehabilitation for his reckless driving case.
Okay.
He was charged last July in a crash in Connecticut that police say happened because he was excessively speeding, driving his nice Bentley. McMahon appeared in Stamford, Connecticut, Stamford Superior Court, where his attorney says he has reached out to the victims in the case to apologize. There were no injuries in the crash, that's good, and neither driver involved objected to McMahon entering the diversion program. So I'm not sure what an accelerated rehabilitation diversion program is, but he's part of it now. So
Yeah, well,
Fancy way of saying you're going to get out of this. You just have to do this thing, right?
Possibly.
alternative punishments.
Yeah, you're not. Maybe he's not going to pay a fine, and he's not certainly not going to go to jail. So
You certainly couldn't afford a fine.
I have a personal opinion that's not bounded, not based on any fact that I know or can verify, and that is, I mean, like so many millions of people, I saw what happened to this guy when he decided to bulk up and become a performer. And I can only imagine what
he took a lot of
what those
steroids.
substances did to his brain.
Yeah,
Because
screwed it up.
you're throwing your body into a chaos to bulk up the mass of your body, and that's done with hormones and chemicals and stuff like that, which are bound to throw other things off balance. I wouldn't be surprised if the guy wasn't a raving lunatic after going through that. But hey, that's just my opinion, and I don't have any facts to back that up. But I was shocked when I saw what he did to himself.
Well, when his dad owned the company,
Yeah.
we'll make this real quick. When his dad owned the company, he said he wanted to bulk up and get in the ring and do stuff, and his father said absolutely not.
Right.
So he had to wait
Right.
until he bought the company,
Right.
and then he could do everything he wanted to do afterwards with all that
And
stuff.
I don't think it was well advised.
Well, that was
I
his
really
choice.
don't think so.
All right, that'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. Our thanks to Phil Gould, Town Administrator from
Thanks,
Lincoln,
Phil.
for being here. Dave, thanks for coming on in.
You know, it's always a pleasure.
All right, and Melissa
Welcome
Murray.
back, Melissa.
Thanks for being
Thank
here.
you. Have a great weekend, everyone.
All right, this is Joe
We missed her
Callahan.
during the week.
Enjoy the week.
Hey, what's coming up next, Joe?
Gary Smith and Do You Remember is coming up after the 9 o'clock news on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump says he and Russian President Vladimir Putin will meet in Hungary in another attempt to end the war in Ukraine.